Welcome back to the NBA recap for January 3rd, 2025. I guess I don't really have to say that, but anyway, for yesterday, first up we had the Detroit Pistons winning the Charlotte Hornets 98-94, a close game. You had Cade had 18, 5 and 5. Jalen Duren had another double-double, 10 and 14. And Toby also had a double-double, 24 and 10. They only shot 41.9% from the field, the Pistons did, and only a 32.4% from three. But they did win the rebounding battle by 6, and I guess that was enough. The Hornets, on the other hand, shot just as poorly, if not poor, from the field. They shot 41.3% from the field and 30% from three. Bridges had 29, and Mark Williams had 18 and 9. They were missing a LaMelo Ball, and it hurts when you're missing your best player, especially when on the season he's averaging 30 points. Next game on the docket was the Orlando Magic versus the Toronto Raptors. The Orlando Magic came out with the win, 106-97, without Franz Wagner or Paolo Banchero. Quite an impressive win. Tristan da Silva, who's been incredible for them as a rookie, scored 25. Gogo Bitadze also had a double-double, 11 and 15. KCP also gave him 15 points. They shot a good, solid 46.8% from the field and 43.2% from three. The Raptors, on the other hand, shot 47.5% from the field, so better than the field, but they shot worse from three with a 34.5%. For the Raptors, Jakob Poeltl had 25. Emmanuel Quickley had a double-double with 11 points, 11 assists. And OG Abaji had 15. Scotty Barnes also had 20 and 9. But it did not come up as enough to beat the Orlando Magic without their two best players. I've been impressed by the Magic for keeping it up. Number one, when Paulo went out. And number two, now they're still getting some wins with Franz out. Impressive. Next up, we had the NBA champions, the Boston Celtics, versus the Houston Rockets. Boston came out with a pretty solid victory, 109-86. Jason Tatum had 20. Derek White had 23. Peyton Pritchard had 20 off the bench for him. And Luke Kennard gave him almost a double-double with 9 and 10 off the bench as well. They shot 50.6% from the field and a really good 48.7% from three. And when the Celtics shoot well from three, it's hard to beat them. The Rockets, on the other hand, shot 36.4 from the field and 27.8 from three. Horrible shooting, but that's nothing too surprising with the Rockets this year. But they've been a great defensive team, but obviously they weren't stopping the Celtics threes. Jalen Green had 27. I think, what's his face? Jabari Smith Jr., unfortunately, I'm pretty sure went off with an injury, and I hope he's going to be okay. Next up on the docket, we have another pretty solid game. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Knicks 117-107. Mikal Bridges for the Knicks dropped 24. They got 20 from Anunoby. They got 17 and 22 from Big Purr. They got 22 from Brunson and 19 from Josh Hart. They only had an 8-man rotation during this game. Every starter played 40-plus minutes. And the only three players that came off the bench were Precious Achiuwa, Cameron Payne, and Landry Shamet. For the Thunder, on the other hand, they got 20 from J-Dub, 33 from Shea, because it's Shea. They also got a nice 14 boards from Isaiah Hartenstein, and Wiggins dropped 19 off the bench for them. Masterclass by Wiggins. Shooting percentage-wise, the OKC Thunder shot 51.2%, while the Knicks shot 47.8%. The Thunder shot an impressive 51.9% from three, while the Knicks shot a not impressive 28.1% from three. Rebounding battle was actually won by the Knicks, but the shooting percentages were just so drastically different. It was actually a really close game until late in the game, and then the Thunder kind of just took it and ran with it. The Thunder now have won 13 straight games, far and away the best team in the West so far, second best team in basketball, I think, right now behind the Cavs, but also you can never count out the Boston Celtics. Next up, we have the best team in basketball versus a Luka-less Mavericks. You can guess the outcome. Cavs win 134-122. The Cavs shot 53.1% from the field and 37.5% from three. Got 17 off the bench from LeVert and 15 from Georges Niang off the bench. They also got 34 and 10 from Evan Mobley. And nice little 16 and 15 from Garland and Mitchell. The Mavericks, on the other hand, only shot 43% from the field and 27.3% from the three-point line. They got 26 off Quentin Grimes. They also got 16 from Klay Thompson. And then they got 17 from Jaden Hardy off the bench as well. They did win the rebounding battle by quite a wide margin, but it didn't end up mattering because the Cavs shot way better than them. Next up on the docket, we have the game of the night, the Denver Nuggets versus the San Antonio Spurs, where the Spurs came out with a 3-point win. Victor Wembanyama came out with 35 and 18, shooting for 6 from 3 and 14 for 22 from the field. He continues to get better and better and scarier. We might be seeing the future GOAT. Other than that, Vassell gave them 18. Also off the bench, Keldon Johnson 15, Champagnie 15. And then the Denver Nuggets, Jokic had another great game, dropping 41, 18, and 9. MPJ also gave him 22. Jamal Murray gave him 14. Could have shot a little better, only 6 for 17. The Nuggets shot 43.3% from the field, while the Spurs shot 46.5%. The Nuggets shot a little better from 3, 38.5% to 36.1%. But the Spurs also won the rebounding battle by 10, and they have Victor Wembanyama. Next up, we have another fairly close game as the Sacramento Kings come out with a win over the Grizzlies, 138-133. Jalen Wells for the Grizzlies had 30. Jaren Jackson Jr. gave him 28, and Darius Bane also gave them 22. Scottie Pippen Jr. also gave them 16. They were missing Ja Morant tonight. They still shot 48.3% from the field and 45.9% from 3, but it wasn't enough to beat the Sacramento Kings, who got 29 from DeRozan, 23 from Fox, and 31 points from Malik Monk, also 17 and 10 from Domantas Sabonis. Trey Lyles gave them a perfect shooting night off the bench and scoring 16 points. They shot 49.5% from the field and 44.7% from the three-point line. They got crushed in rebounds, though, 51-31, but they still came out with the win, and they moved to 3 games under 500. Now, to the last game of the day, the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Atlanta Hawks. The Lakers come out with the win, 119-102. The Atlanta Hawks only shot 41% from the field and 17.6% from 3. An awful shooting night for the Atlanta Hawks. They got 33 from Trae Young on a very solid night. He also gave him 9 assists, 19 points from Jalen Johnson. He had a really nice night as well. They also got 14 off the bench from Onyeka Okongwu. The Los Angeles Lakers, on the other hand, got another very, very nice game from LeBron James, 30 and 8. He now passes Jordan for the most 30-point games ever. I don't think this is necessarily an achievement that the LeBron for GOAT people are going to be bringing up, because how much longer it took LeBron to get this record than Jordan. Many less years, many less games. Next up, Austin Reeves had 20 points for them again. Austin Reeves continuing to be a big piece of this Lakers team. And Anthony Davis gave them 18 and 19. His scoring numbers have definitely been going down as of late, but he's still been a very solid player for them. And Dalton Knecht gave them 13. They shot an impressive 43.3% from 3 and 48.9% from the field. And they moved to 4th in the West with this win, but the West is all smashed together, and it's going to be an exciting time to be a fan of Western Coast basketball.